Tuesdays is known as $2 Tuesdays at WagerTalk.com and SportsMemo.com, where you can get the hottest handicappers' best bet or daily package for only $2.
Hey guys, Carmine Bianco, WagerTalk.com. This episode of Stoppage Time. We're back after a couple of weeks off. It's Champions League quarterfinals, leg one. We are going to preview a game for today, Man City and Atletico. A game tomorrow, Real Madrid and Chelsea. And then a couple of Europa League games that go on Thursday, Eintracht Frankfurt, Barcelona, and Lyon and West Ham. With me from SportsMemo, it's Pavlos Laguretos, and from WagerTalk.com, Kevin Dolan and Nick Borrman. Let's bring the guys in. Guys, thanks for hanging around. A few technical difficulties, but we got you guys on here, and I'm glad we do because you guys are on some great runs. Nick, 13-0 soccer run, just a fantastic run, way to go. And then Kev, 14-5 run as well too. You guys are absolutely on fire. I need to pick it up and chase you guys down. You guys are having a great time. Nick, let's bring you in first. 13-0 run. Tell us what you have up at Wager Talk.
Yeah, it's been a nice return since the international break, and hopefully we can continue that streak. Got one play going today and one play going tomorrow. So hopefully we can get that 14 and 15-0, and then sky's the limit. But things are going well, and most importantly for Kevin this week is it's Masters Week, and that's all that matters. So I know Kevin will be tuned in, and I'm sure you guys will be watching as well. But it is, listen, even if you don't follow golf, this is the best week. The only chance, maybe you might put it on the TV on Sunday, Kevin. Just a little something, maybe.
No chance.
He might.
Absolutely no chance.
Kev, 14-5. What do you have going up at Wager Talk right now? Any tennis, or is it strictly soccer and basketball?
No, if you like tennis and golf, definitely go to Nick's page because you won't find none of that stuff over with me. But yeah, look, nice little run as you said right now. Been a really great last month overall, actually, and. Personal note, we got a 5% play up for Wednesday in the Champions League. And obviously, if anyone caught it, Celtic beating Rangers at the weekend. Fantastic result. Derry City, top of the table over in Ireland too. So we're going to Europe next season. So everything's rosy over here. And, looking forward to talking some Champions League on today's show.
Awesome, and that will do. Pavlos, I give you the last word. How are things? You're getting much better weather than we are over here. I can tell you that.
Yeah, it's almost beach season, and I definitely need a cleanse because March was kind of brutal, but doing quite better in April. It's actually my birthday month. Birthday is at the end of the month, so we'll run a promo there. You guys, I don't know. Kevin talked about Derry City. I'm going to talk about PAOK. They're through to the quarterfinals of the Europa Champions League. That's probably the biggest success for Greek soccer we've seen in ages. So there's that.
All right, awesome guys. Okay, listen. Let's just blast through these games. Let's get going, man. First one, Man City, Atletico. This game goes today. Let's have a look at the numbers on this one. Excuse me. City, minus 300 at home. The draw is plus 375. Atletico Madrid, off that upset of, if you want to call it that, of Man United. They're plus 800 here. Kev, I'm going to look at this real quickly because I'm losing my voice, so I'm going to rely on you to give us most of the feedback on this one. I look at this, and City are now, if we can put those odds up, if we have them, the Champions League odds, there they are. City are the prohibitive favorites right now at plus 180. Liverpool right behind them at plus 200. Bayern Munich plus 300. And then Chelsea at 10-1. And then it drops off from there. You can see, obviously, the Premier League teams are the favorites in this competition to the top two at the very least. You look at City are prohibitive favorites, but they're just playing lights out right now, especially at home where they're near flawless. They've gone 11-1-2 in Premier League play thus far. with a 40-10 goal differential. And then if you look at their group stage, they were a perfect 3-0, a 9-5 goal differential at home in group play. And then you look at the knockout stages, a scoreless draw against Sporting, but effectively that tie ended in leg 1 in Portugal, beating them 5-0. I think it was just getting a result at home and getting through that 90 minutes completely healthy, which they did. I just can't see Atletico coming here. Their road form hasn't been the greatest. 5 losses in 15 games in La Liga play. Their 2 visits to England thus far in Champions League, a loss in group stage to Liverpool 2-0. And then we saw the upset in leg 2, winning at Old Trafford. But this is a different team they're playing here. Kev, I'm going to keep this simple. I'm looking for a big leg 1 result from this City team. I'm going to take City, and I'm going to lay the handicap of a goal and a half and take the plus money. I believe it's plus 105. That's where I'm going on this one. Give me your thoughts.
I mean, it's interesting, Carmine, because I wrote an article on the other game taking place tonight between Liverpool and Benfica. And, the reason I mentioned that is, you simply can't separate what's going on in these midweek games to the absolutely massive game taking place this Sunday over in the EPL between Liverpool and Manchester City. Really, really looking forward to that one, obviously. And look, both squads are well equipped to deal with multiple games. We know how deep they are, especially City, but you have to factor into these games nonetheless, in my opinion, because, I can't envision a scenario personally where we see another 5-0 demolition job like we saw in the last round against Sporting, not just because, Atletico are obviously a better team than Sporting, but also because if Manchester City, get a handle on this game early, I just don't see them, pushing the envelope here. I think Pep will start to focus on Sunday's game more and more, as this game wears on, especially if they're well in command of the game. As, the form Liverpool are in right now, they've lost just once all year over 2022 so far. They've got a better goal difference than City as well, So if City were to lose that game at the weekend, that would be absolutely a huge momentum shifter in the race for the Premier League title. So because of all that, as good as City are, I don't think personally I could be laying a multiple goal head start here on them in this spot. And it's not solely down to the situation either. Atletico have improved a lot since the midpoint of the season. I was harsh on this show myself on them. I watched that Osasuna game a few weeks ago. They were brutal in that game. But, since then, 6 straight wins now in succession. For Atletico, they've bagged 15 goals over that stretch as well. They're getting really hot in front of nets right now, coming off that 4-1 demolition job of Alaves at the weekend, and they're unbeaten since February. So, there'll be no pushovers for City tonight. My own opinion on this game, I think you can approach this game in a few different ways. The straight Atletico plus 1.5 looks decent, even though it goes against yourself. The under 2.5 goals as well. I don't see this being a shootout. Man City and under 3.5 goals, I like that. As does the Man City to win to nil prop also. Man City to win by exactly 1 goal. I've brought this prop up before as well, plus 250. That looks nice. And those are the kind of players I like for this game. If I had to narrow it down for one, I'd probably go with the City to win to nil prop at minus 110. But I like them all in honesty, as I think this game will be, pretty tight. And I think if you offered Atletico a 1-goal defeat right now, Simeone would probably take it. So those are the lanes I like for this game. But at the end of the day, they're all centered around a low-scoring City win for me tonight.
All right, that's Kevin Dolan of WagerTalk.com. Kev, if you look at some of the markets within this game, and we always talk about correct scores, the lowest priced market for a correct score is 2-0 City win at plus 500, 1-0 at plus 550, and then the next one is the 3-0 at plus 700. So at least the markets in Europe are leaning one way, and it's a City win and likely clean sheet is where they're leaning in this one. So we'll see what we get out of Atletico. They may just try what Real Madrid tried to do at PSG in leg 1 of the last knockout stage round, which was essentially try and get a manageable result, come home and see what you can do in leg 2. So we could see that. So to your point of the goals in the under, it's something that I think I agree with as well too. Guys, before we head to the second game with Nick and Pavlos, the Chelsea and Real Madrid game, I want to mention it's Tuesday, so it's $2 Tuesdays at WagerTalk and Sportsmemo. Chiller Tuesdays, where you can get a featured capper play for only $2, along with some great promos within the play. These are plays that normally sell for $25 and $35. Over at WagerTalk, it's Andy Lang. Andy has an NBA play up. You can get that for only $2. And at SportsMemo, this is a monster trio of cappers. You can get all three of them for $5 or $2 separately. Teddy Covers, Joe D'Amico, and John Ryan. All of them with plays up today. You can get those all three for only $5 over at WagerTalk. And then I want to mention Nick, who's on a great run, 13-0, Kevin, 14-5, and myself. We all have 5% plays up right now in for Champions League. Those plays are normally $35. You can get this is our show special. You can get all of the UEFA plays from your favorite capper for only $99. That's every single play from now to the end of both tournaments, all three tournaments, Champions League, Europa League, and Europa Conference League, that all end in May. In the finals, get every single play, including 5% plays, for only $99. So head over to WagerTalk, click on your favorite capper's play, and you'll find it in the soccer drop-down menu, UEFA knockout stage package, only $99. All right, let's head to game 2, guys. This one goes tomorrow. Defending champions Chelsea at home, plus 105. The draw is plus 240. Real Madrid, plus 250. I'm going to tell you right now, at least as far as the two-leg tie goes here, I'm on the outside pulling for Real Madrid to win over the two legs. I don't know what's going to happen in leg 1, but I'd like to see them win because I have future bets for my clients. I released Real Madrid at 18-1, and then I recommended 33-1 when they lost that first game to PSG, and they've made it through. So that is a juicy price if you got it. Nick, where are you going with this?
Yeah, you're sitting in a good position there, Carm. It's very difficult to go back-to-back in this tournament. I fully believe Chelsea's not going to be lifting the trophy this year, and this looks like as good of a spot as any for them to go out. This past weekend, of course, makes it look even worse for Chelsea, and very easy to immediately write them off after that 4-1 home loss to Brentford. Even expected goals in that game show a rather lopsided Brentford win, 2.43 to 1.29. Of course, it's easy to say they were in a look-ahead spot because they really are in a safe position in the Premier League table, so perhaps they were really just focused on this game. But I would argue, the opposite kind of coming out of the international break. That first game back is important to kind of get, into a groove, especially before heading into this big Champions League game. So now there are a lot of questions both the players and the coaching staff are dealing with, distractions basically coming into this game. So I don't really buy that as an excuse for the Blues here. Real Madrid, they did what they had to. They won 2-1 at a tough Celta Vigo side, even though, it took 3 penalties awarded to get them to that point, but they did what they had to do, and they get themselves in tough positions, and penalties are going to be rewarded when they do get into those positions. So, the first leg in that PSG Real Madrid was very tight. Obviously, it took a PSG goal in stoppage time to win that game. I think this game could play out very similarly. I think taking a half-goal head start on Real Madrid is a great way to go here. Right now, half a goal, minus 120, minus 125 maybe, is a decent price, and that's kind of how I'm looking here. I just think it's going to be very tight. Not a lot separates these two, so I'm just going to take the half-goal head start. I'm just not fully in belief with Chelsea right now.
All right, Nick Borrman, WagerTalk.com with his take on Chelsea, Real Madrid. Pavlos, I think this is the game of the 4. This is the biggest one in my eyes. I think this is the biggest one. What are your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, it's truly one of the toughest ones to predict. But Chelsea, I've actually been expecting a bad match, for quite a while now because of Russian ownership, and Russians are kind of the bad guys right now in the world. And even though I hate to talk politics, especially in a soccer show, sometimes politics and soccer go hand in hand, especially with these big teams. And Real Madrid are the royal team, or so they call themselves, and they're usually getting favored by the referees, especially at this stage. So having said that, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a penalty kick going Real Madrid's way. After all, Real Madrid, they were awarded 3 penalty kicks in their weekend match against Celta. Scored twice, missed one. This season, they're leading the La Liga in penalty kicks awarded with 10 in 30 matches. That's 1 in every 3 matches. That's kind of quite a lot. They conceded 1 in the previous round against PSG, had a couple of penalty kicks in the Spanish Super Cup final against Bilbao, and another in the group stage. And when you look at Chelsea stats, they were awarded a couple of penalty kicks in the Champions League so far. They conceded 1. They have the second most awarded penalty kicks in the Premier League with 7 in 29 matches. They have the 4th most conceded penalty kicks in the EPL with 5 in 29 matches. Had a couple of PKs in 2 matches in the Club World Cup earlier in February, and 2 more in various cup matches throughout the season. So then the logical thing to do is look at the referee. The referee is a very penalty-friendly guy. In his last match, he awarded a couple of penalty kicks. This season, he has 14 penalty kicks in 30 matches and 3 penalty kicks in 5 Champions League matches. So last season, he had 15 penalty kicks in 33 matches. The one before that, 10 penalty kicks in 29 matches. So we're talking about, as I said before, I think it was about this guy again. He's like a poor man's Shakir. So a very penalty-friendly referee, 2 penalty-friendly teams, some political background going there. I'm taking the penalty kick awarded at plus 175 here.
All right, Pavlos, I love that. Taking a different approach to it. Very good for you. I will mark that down, and then we'll discuss that next Tuesday's show. All right, guys, we're going to get into some Europa League action, and then we'll do some best bets at the end of the show. We're going to go to Germany for this one. This one's on Thursday. Eintracht Frankfurt plus 350 at home. The draw's plus 280. Barcelona minus 145. Kev's going to look at this game. Kev, all I'm going to say with regards to this one is this is a much different Barcelona team than what we saw earlier in the season. Obviously, with the additions to this team, they're playing some fantastic football. They are now, after that win over Sevilla, that fantastic goal by Pedri, they are now sitting second behind Real Madrid in La Liga play. They're just playing some wonderful football. They are favorites to win this competition at plus 162. Basically 8-5 on your money. While Frankfurt, they're one of those teams where they're struggling in Bundesliga play, and especially at home as well too. They are, I think, they're 16th of the teams in Bundesliga at home record wise. Is this one of those situations where a team is focusing on a competition rather than the domestic league?
Yeah, and this is something we see all the time, especially over in Spain. You got teams like Villarreal who are sitting in mid-table, but, they'll try and focus on Europe. And, as you said, this is all Frankfurt have to look forward to. I'll be cheering them on. I'll be cheering on Frankfurt because, we're all boarding the Leipzig train over in my household. So I'd love to see Barcelona go out. But in terms of a selection for this game, I have to say I am a lot less bullish on the Germans' chances in this one. It's very difficult to look past Barcelona here. I managed to stump up the courage at the weekend and fade them against Sevilla. I got Sevilla on the plus 1.25 handicap line, so got a half cash there. But really had to weather some tight moments in that game, as Barcelona were clearly the better team throughout. And you'd have to say, the job that Xavi has done in turning this team around since the start of the season. Really impressive. Number 1 in the league on expected points since he took over. Number 1 in the league on expected goals against. Number 1 in the league on total scoring. So, while Frankfurt, they're a decent team, this looks like a really tall order for them here on Thursday night to try and get a result here against an informed Barcelona team. And as you brought it up, Frankfurt's home form, I believe they're 15th in the league overall in home form this year. If home form was translated into overall, the Bundesliga table as a whole, Frankfurt would be on the cusp of getting relegated. So, just 4 wins at home all season. Really, really poor stuff. They've scored an average of just 0.4 goals per game over the last 5 home starts. So, that's some pretty grim reading by anyone's standard. And against a team as in form as Barcelona are right now, just sign me up for the road team in this one. Barcelona to win outright minus 145. That looks a good price on Thursday.
Absolutely, Kevin. And that's Kevin Dolan of WagerTalk.com. You can get all of his UEFA plays for the rest of the competition, both in Champions League, Europa League, and Europa League Conference for only $99. Head over to WagerTalk.com, click on your favorite Cappers plays, and you'll find it in the soccer drop-down menu. UEFA Knockout Stage Package, $99. And Kev, I think that price right now is very good at minus 145. It's only going to go higher, I feel, at this point here, and could get up to about minus 170, minus 180. So if you're going to grab it early, because after these Champions League games are over, I think the bettors across Europe will start focusing on the Europa League games. All right, guys, one last game to discuss. West Ham and Lyon also being played on Thursday. West Ham minus 106 at home. The draw's plus 240. Lyon plus 280. Pavlos, I'll go to you first on this one. Give me your thoughts.
Yeah, I believe this is a spot where Lyon have the most experience playing at this stage. West Ham not so much, but West Ham, they were great in the previous round against Sevilla. They did lose by 1-0 in Spain, but they overturned that deficit. They won by 1-0, at home in London, and then they scored the only goal in the extra time. So they beat Sevilla, and I don't know if they can do it again against Lyon here, but West Ham have been really, really great at home this season. They've only lost 5 matches across all competitions, and in all 5 matches they conceded a goal in the first half. So if they can be careful there in the first half and keep Lyon at bay, maybe they can win. And the plus 105 on the West Ham money line is really good, but it's kind of a tricky match because Lyon, they have a great European pedigree. They know how to handle situations like this, and they've been scoring a lot of first half goals, especially on the road. So it's difficult to predict which Lyon we're going to see because they've been going in and out of form throughout the whole season. Right now, they're kind of shaky with just 1 win in the last 4. Not so great on the road, but they don't usually lose easily. I mean, they score even in most of their losses. So I think this is a match where it could easily blow up, early. If Lyon score an early goal, especially in the first half, I think we'll see a very high-scoring match. But my best prediction for this match is both teams to score at minus 125. I think that Lyon have what it takes to hurt this West Ham defense. I'm going to steer away from picking a side. I wouldn't be surprised if West Ham won here and the price is quite good, but Lyon are very, very dangerous. Again, we don't know which Lyon we'll see here today, but actually on Thursday. But yeah, I think both teams' score is fairly safe way to approach this.
All right, Pavlos Laguretos of Sports Memo. Nick, you look at this at West Ham, and Pavlos mentioned that was a very good game at home, overturning that 1-0 deficit to Sevilla, who were perennial Europa League champions. This is a team that I think won that competition 6 times under its current format. Is West Ham looking at this game, at this competition now as their chance to get into next season's Champions League? They sit 6th in the Premier League, a few points back of Tottenham, 3 points back of Tottenham, but they still have Arsenal and Man United also surrounding them. Maybe this is their best way into the competition. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, it's their only way. They're not going to finish top 4 in the Premier League. Same for Lyon. This is their only way in as well. So, knowing that, there's a lot of extra nerves in this game for sure. And so for me, I also will not take a side here, but I actually like the under in this game more so than anything. If you look at the results from Lyon, they have struggled against the better teams in League One. They did manage to get past a very good Porto team, though, in the last round. They won Leg 1, 1-0 on the road, and then played out a 1-1 draw at home in Leg 2. But in League 1, they've got losses against Rennes, they lost against Lille, Monaco, PSG, all the bigger teams in that league. So I have a little bit of an inkling to take West Ham on the plus goals, Lyon on the plus goals, but because West Ham doesn't have a lot of experience here. But Carmine, you nailed it. They did get past Sevilla in that last round, which was impressive. The Hammers, they've played in some high-scoring games in the Premier League, but in this competition, they've been winning games with their defense in low-scoring games. In the group stage, they went 4-2 to the under. In the last round, they knocked off Sevilla 2-1 in the aggregate, both legs obviously staying under the total. In fact, it took extra time in Leg 2 just to get that third goal. Lyon, they're coming off a 3-goal win this past weekend versus Angers, but that was just their 5th game with scoring 2 goals or more in their last 17 games in all competitions. 13 of their last 17 have stayed under the total. So Lyon have gone away from what we've known them to be, which is a high-scoring team, and they've definitely been winning or drawing a lot of games with their defense this year. So I'll root for the 1-1 so Pavlos can get home as well on the both teams to score, but I think it's going to be a little tighter here. I think there's a lot of pressure on both teams to perform in this competition because this is all they got. So I think Leg 1's going to be cautious, and I'll go with under 2.5 goals.
All right, Nick Borrman, WagerTalk.com, 13-0 run in soccer, and he's got a 5% play up this week. in Champions League as well too. So that same deal applies to Nick. $99 for all UEFA competition games, including 5% plays right through to the finals in May. All right, guys, we're going to go to our best bets on the show. These are games that are being played in domestic league on the weekend. Kev, I'm going to go to you first. You're going to Germany and a Bundesliga game. Tell us what you got.
Yeah, so just to re-mention, we've got a 5% Champions League top play loaded up for Wednesday, 14-7 running all 5% soccer top plays as well. So nice run there. And as you said, we're going heading to the Bundesliga. We're going to take the under 2.5 goals in the Mainz-Cologne game this weekend over in the Bundesliga. No doubt Pavlos is going to pick up my pronunciation there, but only two teams have scored less than Cologne have since February 1st in the Bundesliga. They're averaging the second lowest expected goals average as well. Since February 1st, and they're facing the Mainz team who have given up just 2 goals over the last 3 Bundesliga games and all. So Mainz have a midweek game. I expect a slower paced game this weekend. So I like the under 2.5 on Saturday between Mainz and FC Cologne over in the Bundesliga.
All right. Yeah, we get that wrong all the time. Some people say Cologne, some people just say Köln. So it is, and they've beaten us a few times throughout the season. So let's hope that you don't get cloned here. All right, Pavlos, I am going to you next on this one. You're in Bundesliga as well with a Friday play. Tell us what you got.
Yeah, just a reminder because I forgot to mention it before. I have a 2-pack going for today in the Champions League, and I'm still researching tomorrow's plays. But as for a free play, I'm gonna take you guys to the Bundesliga on Friday. I'm gonna take the over 3 in the Dortmund at Stuttgart match. I really love this matchup. Two very, over-friendly teams. So far, Dortmund are 21-7 to the over 2.5 goals with an average of 3.9 goals per match this season. That's really nice. That's the second highest in the Bundesliga. While Stuttgart, even though they are 15-13 to the over 2.5 goals, at home they are 10-4 with a 3.8 goal average. So that's a very high average for both teams. And when you look at the head-to-head in this match, that's insane. Each of the last 15 matches had 3 goals or more, and 11 of those had 4 goals or more. So I think picking the over 3 goals here is essentially a free hit. I think that's a match where we'll see at least 3 goals, maybe both teams getting on the score sheet. And keep in mind that I have been chasing the 3-3 draw in the Bundesliga this entire season. It's insane that we haven't seen a 3-3 draw. So I also like the 3-3 draw. Just keep in mind that Stuttgart have gone around the 3-3 draw a lot of times this season. They have a lot of 3-2 wins and losses. So in Dortmund, they can score a lot, they can concede a lot. They got destroyed by Leipzig over the weekend. There was a couple of unders there, but in Dortmund's recent matches. But that's when Haaland was missing, so now he's back. So yeah, I believe that this is a match where we'll see a lot of goals and quite possibly the 3-3 draw. So I'm taking the over the 3 goals here.
All right, Pavlos Laguretos of Sports Memo. Nick, you're up. You are going to the Premier League on Saturday, and I believe that I'm going to follow up your play with a play on the same game. So tell us where you're going.
All right, it's a Gunners rebound here for me. That's Arsenal. They're still in the driver's seat for that top four finish. They sit level with Tottenham on points. Still have a game in hand. Surprising loss this past yesterday against Palace, losing 3-0 on the road there. But before that, they were beating up on all the mid-table teams in the league. They were on a 6-1 run. Their only loss was Liverpool. They beat Wolves twice, Leicester, Aston Villa, Brentford. Brighton are right in the same mid-table position, but they are in. You'd be really hard pressed to find a team in worse form than Brighton right now. They've lost 6 of their last 7. Their best result was their last game, which was a 0-0 draw against the worst team in the league, Norwich. They haven't scored a single goal in 6 of those games. So, they scored 1 goal in all out of those 7, their last 7 games. So, as much of a rebound spot as it is for Arsenal, I think it's just a huge fade here. Brighton, who are just reeling. So this is minus 3/4 of a goal right now. It's definitely going to get to a goal, maybe more by the weekend. So grab this early, but Arsenal, I think, win this game.
All right, Nick Borrman of WagerTalk.com. And I'm going right back to the same game. I believe Arteta is going to bounce back in this game. Crystal Palace played a fantastic game, and they're playing really well under Patrick Vieira. But Arsenal's been very tough at home. They've only allowed 12 goals through 15 home fixtures, which is the 3rd lowest only to Liverpool 7 and Man City 10. They play very well defensively at home, and playing against, as you just heard, a Brighton side that don't score a lot of goals and haven't scored a lot of goals over their last 6 or 7 games. I'm going to go with Arsenal to win to a clean sheet. So Arsenal win, both teams to score no, and you can get that at plus 160. So that'll be my best bet on the show. Guys, don't forget, it's $2 Tuesdays at WagerTalk and Sportsmemo. You can get a featured Cappers Plays for only $2. Andy Lang with an NBA play over at WagerTalk, and at Sportsmemo, a trio of very good cappers, Teddy Covers, Joe D'Amico, and John Ryan. You can get all of their plays, all of their $2 plays in one package for $5. So that is a great deal. Head over there. And of course, the show special, $99, the UEFA package. Get every single play from your favorite capper. And there's some 5% plays up for myself tomorrow, along with a couple games today. Nick and Kevin both have 5% plays, and Pavlos as well, too. With plays over, you can get the Champions League, Europa League, and Europa League conference games right through the finals in May. We'll be back next Tuesday with more Champions League, Europa League plays, guys. As always, good luck with your wagers. For myself, Nick Borrman, Kevin Dolan, and Pavlos Laguretos, we'll see you next Tuesday.
Tuesdays is known as $2 Tuesdays at WagerTalk.com and SportsMemo.com, where you can get the hottest handicappers' best bet or daily package for only $2.